Okay, so this is sort of a percentage question where there is a movement one after the other, successive percentage if you want to call that. So manufacturer of the table sells it to a wholesaler at a profit of 10%. So let me just mark this out. So manufacturer sells it to the wholesaler at a profit of 10%. So there's an increase in price of 10%. Okay. The wholesaler sells the table to the retailer. So the wholesaler is selling to the retailer at a profit of 30%. So there's another 30% increase. And finally, the retailer sells it to a customer at a profit of 50%. Okay. So that's a greedy one. So he sells it at 50% profit. Now the customer pays 4290. So the actual price paid by the customer, I'll just write this up top, is 4290. Then the manufacturing cost. So this is what we're looking for. So typically in these kind of chains, that is the one you will be looking for the farthest values. If that is not required, then some of the information won't be required. So typically you would be given one of the farthest value and the other farthest value would what is something you'd be looking for. Now, in these kind of cases, I'll just tell you something. I don't apply allegation, not even multiplying factors and stuff like that. What I do is I typically look at the denominators of each percentage values. For example, this 10% can be reduced to something by 10, right? 1 by 10 actually, but I'm just noticing the denominators. 30%, something by 10, I know that. 50%, something by 2. Now, what I'll do is I'll just multiply across these numbers. So 10, 10, and 2. So that is 200, right? So I'll just consider the manufacturer price to be 200. Now I'll just apply this, percentage profit and everything. So let me just write this a bit properly. So 200. So now increasing this by 10%. So that would be 20 increase. So 220. Increasing this by 30%. 10% is 22. So 30% is 66. So increase that, you get 286. And finally increase that by 50%. 286 and 50% of that, half of that is 143. If you add this up, you get actually 429. Now, check this out. I mean, the given value is 10 times of this. So this value should also be 10 times of this, the assumed one, right? So the answer is 2000. It's very fast. Just notice the denominators. What the reason for noticing the denominator is you can actually take any value here, but the advantage of taking or noticing the denominator is if you check this out, in nowhere in this chain I found a decimal number, right? So this happened because I thought about the lowest denominator of each percentages, not any denominator. I can take 10% as 10 by 100 as well, not the 100. I'm talking about the reduced forms. So if you take the reduced form, there will be two advantages. One, you'll always have integers throughout this chain, and two, you will never deal with very high numbers. So you'll always deal with the smallest possible numbers, wherein you will never have decimal values. So these are a couple of advantages. So that saves a bit of time. I mean, a lot of time actually. I hope you can understand. I mean, if you apply a process like this, you can solve this in 30, 40 seconds or something after reading, of course. So I'll say the solving time ideal would be 1 to 1.5 minutes. The reading is involved and those kind of things are also involved. So I'm not sure how many of you are comfortable with this. If you are comfortable, that would automatically reduce this time.